All right, y'all, welcome in episode 9, New Wave Certified. I'm your host, John Larkin. I'm also the owner of New Wave Performance here in Cedar Rapids, training a lot of athletes, primarily football athletes, but we also work with basketball players, soccer players, volleyball players, just helping anybody who's really an athlete become better, movers and just performers in that case. So today, I really just want to recap how our summer has been going, kind of do some reflection, just kind of share my thoughts with some of you guys. So that all being said, we're a little over halfway. I mean, it's July 12th when we're filming this episode. It's a Saturday. I'm with my homeboy, my producer. You know what I mean? We're chilling down in the lobby, the athlete waiting room, whatever you want to call it. Just wrapped up filming an interview with some of my college guys and sending those guys off. They're off to their school, their team, and it's just been a very rewarding summer just working with these college athletes on a consistent basis, and just very, very proud of the growth I've seen from them. So kudos to those guys. Shout out to the guys, man. Got them right before they left, went back to school. So yeah, the college training, that's been really good. Now, when it comes to the high school guys, I'm happy with the guys that have been here, that have been consistent, that have been putting the work in. I'm seeing the improvement on that front. I did have to make a little bit of a Instagram story, you know what I mean, a post there where I had to call some folks out, man. You know who you are. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to make it that type of podcast or anything, but basically what I was just seeing, I was just basically pointing out what I was seeing. And really what I was seeing was that the youth guys were working way harder than the guys that are in high school. And I get it. You know, you're with your team, you're doing football workouts, you got other things going on. That's cool, but if you really want to be great, man, like how are you think MJ, you think LeBron, you think Kobe, you think all these great players, Jalen Hurts because he's great. But anyway, gotta plug in. But Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP, right? Lamar, Mahomes, I guess Mahomes, whatever. But Burrow, none of those guys can say that. But anyway, those guys are great. Do you think that they just did team workouts and that was it? No. They didn't. They're getting extra work in. They're taking care of their body. They're doing all this extra stuff, right? They're investing in themselves so that way they can be better than their competition. Their competition not only is with the other guys on the roster, especially if you're trying to make a roster, but it's also like other people around the country and around your city and so on and so forth. So if you truly believe that your talent alone and then just working with the team is going to get you there, you're mistaken. But that's not to say that the stuff you're doing with your team isn't going to help. It's certainly going to help, and it's very necessary. You need to be at those things, and that's what's going to help you be a good team player. But if you want to be an individual athlete that's going to succeed at a higher level, you need to put in extra work. And I'm seeing that lesson being learned from the youth kids much faster and more effectively than I am seeing with the current high school players. But so yeah, that's really why I had to point that out. But other than that, though, things are going good. You know what I mean? I'm seeing a lot of improvement from folks, and really my biggest thing is, we're getting to July, and I'm getting a lot of kids that are kind of like they want to just start now. I feel a certain type of way about that, to be honest with you, because I want to work with the best players, and the best players, they come here. And if you truly are trying to be the best, like, you've been here, you know what I mean? Like, you've known about this, so you're going to be here, right? So don't show up late to the party is what I'm getting at. So we're going to find out, you know what I mean, this fall, who really put in the work, who really took their grind seriously, and who's really going to capitalize on the opportunity, because that opportunity only comes so often. And that opportunity doesn't only just go for, playing football with with the team and all that, but it also comes with like the opportunity to get better, right? And that when I say get better, I'm talking about here, right? At New Wave Performance. There's only a certain breed of athlete that comes here, right? If you truly want to be the best at your school, you truly want to be the best in your city, you want to be one of the best players in the country, then you got to come get with the best. And that's really what the message I'm trying to send. So that's an opportunity in itself, and I'm trying to give you that opportunity, and you're not taking it seriously, then I'm not going to take you seriously. That's just PSA, you know what I mean? It means something to be certified, you know what I mean? So that's really the message I'm trying to get out there. But other than that, though, everything's going good. I'm really happy with everybody that's showing up, putting in the work. So what I wanted to do now, I've got my iPad with me. I want to look at, do some reflecting on some of the content that we shot this summer, and we're going to kick it off with our most recent post, looking at some running back footage. Man, my running backs, I'll tell you what, hold on, I gotta pause this real quick. Gotta pause it. So look, running backs, right? I study every position, right? I put that work in, just like I ask you guys to. Running backs, I've never been known to be like a running back guy. You know what I mean? Never been known for that. But I know footwork. I know that good stuff, right? And when I get athletes like these running backs have been grinding. All right, I got to invest a little bit more into the running backs. So I go out and I buy some trash cans. I get them right, a little gift to those guys. And I'm going to start showing them a little bit more love because they've been grinding. So I'm really happy with what I'm seeing with them. But yeah, man, I got to shout out my boy Mario Orr, man. He been working, man. He wants to be one of the best in the state, man. We're gonna make sure that happens. So, but we gotta stay healthy. We gotta get faster. You know what I mean? The work's never done. But yeah, just wanted to highlight his moves, man. He out there moving. No wasting movement with that guy. But we move on, man. Looking at our college guys. I tell you what, bro. Let me run that back. If you went back to the very beginning, he doesn't have that wiggle. He doesn't have that wiggle in the very beginning of the summer, but now he's out there shifty. Flow. Hey, flow. No, I'm just joking. Not going that far. But nah, we just got done interviewing these guys, man. I know they're confident. One hand snag. That boy got big hands. And then my boy Bari, he just fast. I'll get to some of his content here in a little bit. Here you go. Here's my youth guys, man. I got some high school players in there too, working with the youth guys, just working on quick twitch. Your high school coaches are seeing this, guys. Your high school coaches are seeing this. So if you're a youth athlete, your high school coaches are seeing the work you're putting in, man. They follow our page. They know if you're working or not. So if you want to make a good impression on your coach, shoot, here you go, man. Shout out my boy Josiah, JoJo, man. He coming from Arizona. Came all the way back to get some work with me over 4th of July weekend. Tapped in with me. We really got that bond, man. I know he wants to be great, so guess what? He's coming to work with some of the best. So shout out to homie. Again, this was a Saturday session. I got active with the guys. I'm not featured in these clips, but again, you look at the caption. Can't miss an opportunity to get better. What did we talk about? The opportunity. And again, throwing it back, last year, counting down the days until week 1. That's my bro, Mario Orr, man, making guys miss. This is his first career touchdown. He's happy to be on the sideline to see that happen. You know what I mean? But again, he made a hell of a play. I mean, look at that. Tightrope the sideline, cut it back. Great block by my boy Pierce. Up at St. Thomas right now for the week, chilling out with his new teammates, getting to know the guys. But nah, he just made a hell of a play there, so I had to highlight that. My boy AP getting back in with the college guys. He was back for a week. We got in some speed training as well as some positional work. So right here, we're just working on adding a new release to the bag. And really, we're just taking a basic 1-2 and we're just adding a jump or a hop hezzy to it. And what that does is allows you to get on the DB's toes and allows you to close space a lot faster than if you were just gonna hit a release at the line of scrimmage. We're really just moving the line of scrimmage, you know what I mean? Trying to get up on his toes, get him uncomfortable, because a lot of times they're gonna wanna keep their hands locked. They wanna be able to see the movement. They don't want you to get up in their space, get on their toes. So they're gonna keep their arms extended, right? Or they're just gonna scooch back, play a little bit softer press. So this is what we're trying to work on, get up on their toes. We were just talking about the basketball player that I've been working with. Shout out JJ Smith. You want to talk about a guy that understands what it takes to be great, to be the best day in and day out. This kid right here, man, you're going to see some big things from him in the next couple of years, man. 8th grade, going into freshman this year at Linmar. He's been tapped in with me for almost a year now. He's done all the speed and agility on the field with even like some of the football players. So, I mean, he really has seen a difference in his game just in that sense. But now we're working on some mobility, keeping him healthy, you know, throughout the season, making sure his knees are taken care of, and also just trying to get him stronger, basketball strong, right? And this stuff right here, this applies not only to basketball, but also like volleyball. So we have some volleyball players that do this too, but yeah, just kind of touching in on some of the stuff that he's got going on. My boy Miles Thompson and his bro Malik, they came back from their break, got in with me, just doing some DB things here, you know what I mean? Working on hips. Obviously, we're always working to improve on that. This is my first session with Malik. So, you know, he's pretty raw, you know what I mean? These guys are just fast. They run shit. They're running 4.4s, like true 4.4s, you know what I mean? If you've ran the 5'10" fly at our facility and you know what your time is, you might sit there and think, oh yeah, 1.2, that's good. These guys are running 1.1s. 1.1, that's speed right there. That's fast. You know what I mean? So those guys, they got speeds, and they're just learning how to play with that speed. We get more wide receiver work. This was from earlier in the week when Apollo and them were there. But yeah, they're just working on top of the route. Basically, what I'm trying to see is I'm trying to disrupt their natural running by adding moves, and then seeing how fast can they get back on rhythm and get back to the top of their route. You know what I mean? But here, we just start out with some prep work right here. Again, shout out to my youth guys. This kid in the very beginning, he's 5th grade going into 6th grade, but he is going to be a stud running back for Prairie someday. His dad actually just hit me up. I had talked to him over the weekend. Shout out Keith, Coach Keith. He had hit me up. He sent me a video of his son, Caleb, breaking a big run at a Nike camp. They went to a Nike camp in Chicago, and he broke this big run for a touchdown, made everybody on the team, everybody else on the field look slow. He was easily the fastest player in that clip. But he had told me, he said, man, Caleb, they tested the kids as fast as, see who's the fastest. He was top 10 out of every kid in the entire camp. Top 10. This is in Chicago. This is not Cedar Rapids. This is not just Iowa City. This is the entire, area of Chicagoland, right? You got kids from all over going to that camp, right? And he's top 10. Just a kid from Cedar Rapids, man. Just a kid from Prairie. Top 10. But he's been putting in work since November. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna hit you up at the end of summer, July, try to get some work in. Like, nah, he's been tapped in since November, and the results show. More basketball work, getting him strong. Just seeing how well he can move with control. Like, how well can you control your movement? How well can you organize your body to perform these movements with stability, and so on and so forth, right? But again, this is a hot day. It's about 90 degrees in the facility. Sun's out. You got to earn that thing in the heat, man. You train hard, game easy. But yeah, bro, that's just kind of going through all these little content, right? These are just some of my favorite clips. All right, real quick, I want to talk about this one. This is a good one. So everybody wants to know like how they can get in and out of cuts faster, right? This video kind of breaks that down, how to get better at cutting. This is one of my favorite drills. It's such a simple drill, but really just teaches kids the different angles in which we're trying to cut at. So we did a 90-degree cut, which you see there, and then we're gonna do a 135 up next, so a 135-degree cut. So changing directions, right? So how do I do that, man? First, I gotta strike the ground near my hips. I don't want to be too wide outside of my frame. and I want to make sure that my toes are rotated in a direction where I can push to rotate my hips, right? Because if my toes are just forward all the time, it's going to make it harder for me to rotate my hips and get me in the direction I'm trying to sprint to. So just a simple drill to teach those kids how to do that. These kids were sliding. You guys were just sliding, right? See, I was telling Vari, man, like some of his strengths are just the route running. See, look how fast he is in and out of those cuts. You know what I mean? That's some of his strengths. It's just a real route running. And don't get it twisted. That was a tight end you just saw moving. That was JJ. He's sliding, man. But this stuff right here is just all ankle mobility on the field, right? Just how well can you move in and out of your cuts without having to make like an inside edge of the foot cut. So basically, like if I go back, right, to the one we were just breaking down, we're breaking on the inside edge of our cleats here, right? Everything's on the inside edge of my foot. I'm cutting off the outside foot, right? If I'm trying to go right, I'm cutting off my left. And to do that, I need to use the inside part of my foot. But in sport, it doesn't always happen that way. So in this case, we're doing the opposite. We're trying to learn how to cut off the outside part of the foot. We're trying to learn how to cut off the wrong foot in this case, right? Because you want to be able to weave and cut. So let me go back to a good example of that. Very beginning. This is my most recent post. This one right here, bang. So the first stick is inside edge of cleat. The second foot is going to be outside edge, right? Let me go forward here. Oh, I don't even think I put it in there. Oh yeah, here it is. Hold on. All right. So he's gonna go 3 steps, and on that 3rd step, he's gonna cut off the outside edge of the foot, which would be the right foot. Right there, outside edge of the foot. So again, he's cutting off the inside foot, part of the foot, and then the very next step is outside edge. Not trying to confuse you, but if you know what I'm saying, then you know what I'm saying. Just put it that way. But other than that though, shoot. You know, obviously we had that stuff out at the field. That was a lot of fun. You know what I mean? We got some good competition. I got to talk some shit. You know, that was a lot of fun. I like this right here, man. In this video, I'm just trying to get him to be as patient as possible, right? Setting up these moves. And then when I say burst, you got to go 0 to 100. Now, wait for that hold up, pop up, and then boom, hit it and go. Hit it and go. You know what I mean? And I'm just trying to make him react in these small, tight spaces, right? So that way we can really turn into a home run hitter. Yeah, this will probably be the last one that I break down. Probably this one right here. So we're just working diamond releases here, man. Just working diamond releases. This is the first time that these guys have worked diamond releases with me. Basically what we did is we prepped the session. We prepped all our stuff before we did all this. Obviously, I don't just throw them in this. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to win with speed at the beginning to get the DB to open his hips up to the outside. So again, I'm giving him a split, which is one of the faster releases, a speed release. I'm gonna get him to open the hips. I'm gonna act like I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna pause it, right? Stop real quick, and then boom, break it back inside. Or I'm just gonna go now, quick right now. So again, how did we get them to get speed off the line? We did a little split release here to get the movement, but then we put a band on their waist, so that way that teaches them how to drive out of the release, right? And again, this is our prep work, right? So we worked that 1-2, that sitting down of the hips, so that prepares them for that snap down real quick. Now what you're seeing here is a hezi off of 1 foot, so that way they can incorporate that later in the release. So there's the snap down, snap down that we talked about. There's the hezzy, right? Let's just say I don't want to go inside. Let's just say I want to split. I want to act like I'm going inside, read him, and then I want to keep going. I want to make him stop his feet. That's how I can do that. I can add that little hezzy there. Right there. Right, and then you combo that, and then you come back and do that. Boom. You know what I'm saying? So it all kind of goes together, right? We want to make things look the same. You know what I'm saying? But that's just one session. I mean, we do this every day. We talk about this creative process every day, and I think that's what makes this such an art. You know what I mean? This is what I really enjoy the most, is just the art behind everything. You know what I'm saying? We can really make it simple if you want. Like my high school kids, like we're not really doing this, to be honest with you. Like we'll do some of it, you know, like we'll do some splits, we'll do some 1-2s and all that, but like we're not doing this because that's just above their skill level right now. These are college athletes, you know what I'm saying? These are D1, you know what I mean? They're the best prospects, so on and so forth. But yeah, not really too concerned on that. But my philosophy with like these younger cats is like, I used to think it was kind of like all about like just like doing what looks good and stuff like that. But I quickly realized, I'm like, man, these kids really just don't have fundamentals. So we need to do a lot more fundamental work and just get them better with their feet, get them better with their shoulders, their hips, things of that nature. Route running, like what is real route running? Shit that drives me crazy is when a kid comes off the line, when they're running routes, when they come off the line slow, like, or they're like taking these small little steps because they're about to run a slant. It drives me nuts. You're not selling vertical, and that's one of the basic fundamental things that you need to know as a receiver is how to sell vertical. You got to learn that skill. It's such a fundamental skill, right? So that's things that we teach in the beginning of our like training process. Like we have a real curriculum that like we put kids through. It's not just random shit, right? So when I get kids and they go back to their school team and they go back to their coach and they're like, oh man, this kid looks good. Like, what you been doing? Yeah, it's because they've been coached, you know, outside of, you know, these other situations, you know. And let me just put this out there. Shout out to all the high school coaches. Shout out to all the youth coaches. Like, your work is so appreciated. Like, these kids need you, and like all the guys that are out there doing it right. Like, shout out to you guys. Like, you know, you guys just deserve that credit. So, but yeah, bro, just that's kind of like behind like my thinking, my creative process. But again, like we really started the summer out really fundamental. And now that we're in the back end of summer, I'm putting them in these more challenging situations. Like if I go back to my most recent post, right? Like even this drill, like we didn't just do this at the beginning of the summer. We didn't do that at the beginning of the summer. We didn't do this at the beginning of the summer. We didn't do that at the beginning of the summer, right? We started off real basic, but now I'm putting them in these situations that challenges them to fail, right? And what you see is all these reps are being executed at a high level, but they don't get it right on the first time every time. But again, we're at this stage in the summer where we're trying to challenge them a little bit, trying to get them to fail with form, if that makes sense. And then the last week before they go back to their team, we kind of pull that all back. We revisit the fundamentals one more time, just to regain that confidence and remove the thinking and make them just have really confident, successful sessions, so they don't really fail as much during the session. They're really just, you know, comfortable with what they're doing. And when I went to the speed conference in Chicago, one of the things I learned was from one of the big time coaches. He coaches all these Olympians and stuff like that. He said, athletes have security blankets. And you know, one of the things that I can think of is, I'm an Eagles fan, so I already know this, but Jason Kelce, you guys probably already know Jason Kelce by now. Super Bowl champion, by the way. Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl champion. One of his security blankets was, I always need to be able to squat 600 pounds or 500 pounds every season. I want to be able to squat that much weight. That just gives him confidence in knowing that he's prepared. And I think I just saw a clip of George Kittle, another Iowa guy. Saw George Kittle just posted like a video. I saw a clip of him talking like that. Him and one of his teammates, I think, they front squat like crazy weight. You know what I mean? Like before every game or some shit like that. But that just like gives them confidence in knowing that their body is ready, right? So we try to do something similar. We try to allow the athletes to discover that on their own. But we always want to make them feel like they're ready, they're confident, so that way when they go back with their team full time, they're putting their best foot forward and they're ready to go out there and execute. So, but yeah, man, what's to look forward in the future? I just say, you know, season's right around the corner. We'll finish up like I just talked about, but we're going to be running an in-season separator program where we're just doing 30-minute sessions with guys. We're not killing them. So high school coaches, don't worry about that. We're not killing them. We're actually just going to work on mobility, stretching, priming, trying to make sure that they are physically ready. They're fresh, you know what I mean, for game day. And then also we're going to microdose a little bit of speed because the science and the literature shows that you need to sprint once every 5 days because the quality, or not the quality, but the speed characteristics, basically the progress that these guys make, you know, from all their speed training, it becomes detrained as little as 8 days. So you start getting slower after 8 days, 5 days of not speed training. So we want to make sure that our athletes are speeding up while their competition is slowing down. And we're doing that strategic, obviously. We're going to do that so that way we obviously don't induce any fatigue. And we just want our guys feeling fresh, feeling loose, feeling fast, and playing confident. So, shoot, if that's how you want to be, man, you know where to come find us, man. South side of Cedar Rapids, New Wave. You want to come get certified, you know where to find us. Those of you who are already certified, let's go out there and let's put our best foot forward and show everybody who's really been working. So, appreciate you guys checking in. New Wave certified. I'm your host, John Larkin, owner of New Wave Performance. Shout out to my producer, Darshawn Smith Productions. Man, go find him on Instagram. Go find him on YouTube, all that good stuff, man. But anyway, appreciate you guys checking in.